Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today I'm going to show you, as I've said in the title and in the thumbnail, my final version, so far at least from the testing that I've done, of the Iron Twins. I think this is going to be the team that I'm going to be using for quite a while. Let me make myself a little bit smaller, move myself here in the corner, because I did this mistake on the previous video yesterday. But because I'm going to be a little bit busy with the wedding stuff and all the things, and you know, preparing videos and content for the week of the wedding, I will not have much time to experiment more with my team. And basically this is the team that I've seen, that I've tested and seemed the most reliable for me so far, and I've tested this on every single affinity. That's why I waited till I released it again, because you know, I wanted to try different variation, wanted to see what was more reliable for me. So at the end of the day, it seemed that for me, it was more reliable using, instead of Tomb Lord, Lord Chamford. The beauty about this is the fact that I already had the Lord Chamford that I used for the sake of Hydra as a mischief target. However, because of the changes that I've done with my teams and the improvement that I've done with my Hydra teams, I sadly did not have a space for him anymore in there. So by having him already maxed with Masteries and being booked and all that, I managed to re-specialize him for the sake of the Iron Twins. The reason why he's so good for this one, for the sake of survivability at least, is because of this decreased speed that you see over here. Every time he gets hit, he has a 100% chance to place the decreased speed. Unless he gets 3% and, you know, and gets resisted on it, he will always land that decreased speed. It doesn't matter if he hits or not, he just has to be hit. And guess what? This boss does only AoE hits. So in this case, he always gets the decreased speed out because he always gets hit, and as you can see that it's always there. Unless the bots hits that, you know, the point of 85, 75, 55 or 40%, you know, of his life where he cleanses, we're always gonna have the decreased speed in there. At the same time, he has on a 3-turn cooldown and decreased attack and decreased accuracy debuff that he places. I don't care that much about that decrease accuracy, because you know, I did not want to show like, okay, I have high accuracy and high resistance, high everything. So I basically just wanted to rely on having high accuracy on my people, and that's about it. This team has never passed over 3 minutes, and the best time I had was 1 minute and 56. At the same time, everything else, it's like, you know, using a combination of Mithrala for the lead, because you know, she's just insane. The survivability that she brings with the increased defense, strengthen, the shield, and maybe the increased attack for a little bit of extra damage, but that's not too important. Like, this survivability is what we need, because for what I've tested and what I've seen so far, the most used and the most efficient teams seem to still be the Geomancer team. So obviously what you want in here is Geomancer using the HP burn, then everybody else surviving around Geomancer, and every time the boss attacks, there's a big reflect that, see, look at that, all those takes are from Geomancer's passive and HP burn. Like I said, so Mithrala, apart from the survivability, she brings the lead of 80 accuracy in all battles. Godseeker brings the extension of those buffs, which, like, you know, you don't necessarily need it, but it's helpful in case like Mithrala doesn't rotate back to them to put them back on. But at the same time, she brings a heal. She brings an active revive, Godseeker, that resets all the skills, so puts all the skills on 0 cooldown, so they're all ready if she revives them. And at the same time, she has a backup revive on her passive that, you know, before somebody gets killed, has like a 3 or 4 turn cooldown, puts a revive on that, and basically she can save that person. At the same time, on her A1, she heals as well. Vogus, at the end, he's just straight up the tank in there that he's in a Guardian set, he heals everybody else every time he gets hit and absorbs part of the damage. Another thing that I've done, which is like, you know, it's quite high stats to be fair, is I actually gave my Vogus accuracy. The reason for the accuracy is because if every time he gets hit, he places that leech in there. Having leech in there actually helps us to heal back up whenever we proc a War Master or like any other damage. But by proccing War Master, we have an extra layer of healing, so this is like extremely reliable. The only one that seemed like it might be dodgy, but it still worked, was on the what was it again? It was on the Force affinity, where obviously Lord Chamford is weak affinity. However, he still places the decreased speed because he needs to get hit and the affinity does not matter when you get hit. Only when he tries to hit, he has a 35% chance to weak hit. But still, it was forced yesterday, still worked. And look at this, even if Vogus dies, guess what? Revive on death, buffs back up, and then every time she does the A1, she heals Vogus, or A2 heals Vogus. So Vogus is always there, soaking up the damage, and we easily just straight up kill this boss. Sometimes it's a little bit longer, like 2 minutes 30, 2 minutes 40. Sometimes it's like 1 minute, 1 minute 56, 2 minutes. So I'm definitely happy, it's reliable, it works. Let me show you the presets that I actually used on this team and their builds. Why did I go there? I wanted to see the presets first. Yeah, of course I had to click something wrong, so it doesn't matter what stage. So basically the way that I want to use it is because I have my Mithrala being so fast as she's my immunity cleanser. I have her open with the A1 and not straight out with the buffs because I want the boss to hit us to have the decreased speed before we place the buffs. If you don't have her at this stats, you know, this crazy speed, you might have her like slow, 200 speed and protection, stone skin, whatever else. Just let her use the A2 or A3, whatever, don't make her open with the A1 and you're good to go. She's just gonna keep placing these buffs and it's gonna help you out. Obviously, you'd prefer to have around 230, 240, 250, maybe to always have the, you know, to rotate fast enough so it's like she doesn't get outsped by the boss. Chamford I put to be 254, like I wanted to be over the 250 speed for the sake of this one, you know. Unless it's forced and it's like, you know, it's a lower chance that he doesn't place it. You want to have the decrease attack as fast as you can because you don't take as bad hits from the boss, which makes this team a lot more survivable. He's gonna boost the boss's turn meter if there's no decreased speed because of the shield that he keeps placing on himself. But after the first turn, when the boss hits us, unless he gets 3% on the passive that places decreased speed, he's good to go, you know. And like, I didn't need to bring anything else. Also, nice thing, he brings decreased defense on the A1 as well if we actually want that. We don't really care about it, but you know, I gave him accuracy for the sake of decreased attack, decreased accuracy, and for the decreased speed. Geomancer, I locked his A2 and make him always use the A3. He's my Hydra Geomancer, so of course he's gonna have some crazy accuracy. 520, I'm trying to aim for 520 for everybody. With the 80 Mithrala lead, it's like everybody that needs to place a debuff, if you have 600, you should place it most of the time. So the reason why I locked the A2 is because, like I said, him being my Hydra Geomancer, he's in a reflex. So even though like the cleanse might happen, like, you know, you get an extra War Master from somebody and the boss might proc the cleanse, you want to come back to the HP burn as soon as possible. And by having that reflex on, that gives you a 40% chance to refresh one of the skills. And by only using the A3, obviously you have a high chance to coming back to it as soon as possible. I made it prioritized because maybe sometimes he will not use it when it's on one turn, but when the boss gets a turn, if that one turn was on, it goes away and we lose on the damage. So doesn't matter that we lose on his War Master procs, we don't care. The damage that we want is from this passive that is triggered by his HP burn. Godseeker, I just had built her tanky. I gave her some resist, maybe for the sake of trying to resist Iron Brad, but it's not really important. If this one, you don't have to give resist, honestly. Just make her tanky with the right speed, maybe even get her faster so she rotates through her abilities faster as well, to bring the heals, to bring the revives. I also have her in the Relentless. I'm gonna show you the build as well. But the only thing that I made her do here is open with the A1 because I want to have the buffs from Mithrala when she does her A2 to extend all of those. If it doesn't work like that, if your Mithrala is slower, just let her do whatever, it's gonna be fine. Maybe make sure you prioritize the revive and the heal because maybe sometimes Godseeker does not like to use her A2 for the sake of the heals and the extension if there's not enough buff, so keep that in mind. Priority revive, second priority to be the buff extension and the heal. Then Vogus, I just turned off the A2 and I let the A1 because this one has a chance to always extend like one random debuff for one turn. This could help you to extend the decrease attack, to extend the HP burn, to extend the leech, you know, the debuffs that he places. And that's the reason why I tried to get him again close to that 520 resist. And then I didn't care about his speed, just tried to get him tanky. Obviously I couldn't get as crazy HP as I normally would on him because I tried to push that much accuracy. But yeah, this is my team. Let me just show you the builds that I have on them. So as I mentioned, Mithrala is my immunity one that I use for Rina as a cleanser. These are her masteries. I'm just gonna like quickly go through them, let you watch it for a few seconds, and I'm gonna jump to the next one. And these are all of her stats that I'm using. Like I said, this one, like, okay, she's not gonna land the poisons, but it is what it is. I use it for something else, and I'm happy whenever I can use a champion that's already in a build for something else for different content in the same build, that makes me happy. That means I don't have to regear champions all the time. Then Lord Chamford, I guess I made him my specialist for this. The way that you would want, for example, if you wanted to make him be useful for Hydra as well, maybe getting for Nightmare to be used would be hard, because getting 520 accuracy and 500 resist could actually be hard. If you would run maybe like for the sake of Hydra resist lead, you can get him to be 420 resist with a 520 accuracy. That could work, but obviously you're gonna suffer on the HP and speed side. So you know, just a hint in case you wanted to do that. Or one way you could help yourself is if you maybe instead of having the War Master that I have on him, you could try give him either Eagle Eye or take him down support and giving Unshakable to help you out, you know, with achieving the stats to make him useful for Hydra and for the Iron Twins. But like I said, I don't use mine on Hydra anymore, so fortunately that's what I have. So like I said, Godseeker, she's in Relentless plus speed, and then a random piece here that's the refresh. It could be helpful. Pretty slow, I would like her faster. Again, like I said, resist, I didn't really care, but I have it there, it is what it is. And then just tank, you don't want her to die. Like, she has to be the one that survives because she's the reviver in there. Also, I had a blessing on her, so the blessing that I took was the faultless defense, so she survives when those multi-hits come in there. So, you know, I just want her to be tanky. I don't care about her damage. That's like, the damage builds are for other stuff such as the clan boss. But yeah, this is what I have on her, because, like, you know, if I have a blessing, might as well use it. On Geomancer, I have, like I said, reflex plus perception. These are his stats. The accuracy that I need, nothing about resist, because, you know, I didn't really care. This was just random resist that I got from whatever builds I did. And again, tanky, don't care about him critting or having attack. No, you care about him surviving and having the accuracy to land his debuffs. Then these are the Masteries. Honestly, these Masteries are specifically for Hydra as well, because I want an extra chance to land a decreased accuracy, which can be really helpful for the sake of Hydra, to resist maybe some other debuffs, not specifically the Head of Mischief, because that one you require higher. So yeah, Sniper, and obviously Master Hexer for a chance to extend that HP bar when he places it, plus Arcane Celerity because he places lots of debuffs. Again, for Hydra is really good, but it also helps for the Iron Twins, I guess. And then Vogus, he's in a Guardian Cell, like I said, as much HP as I could. Showed you the stats earlier. And these are his Masteries. Obviously, you're gonna have Masteries on him that make him soak up as much damage as possible. Selfless Defender to soak up on the first hit the most damage. And then Bulwark, alongside the Guardian, he's gonna take 15% of the damage that the boss does. He's gonna mostly soak it because that's his only role. To get hit and then straight up heal everybody else with these Masteries. And down the support tree, I took the healing ones because I care about the healing for him. Same thing for her. Actually, I should reset her Masteries. I didn't do it yet. I should reset her Mastery and just take her down the healing side as well. Not care about defense tree. Defense tree was, like I said, for some clan boss stuff that I showed. I could still keep her in the War Master, or I could straight up ignore the offense tree and specialize her as a healer and take her down the support and defense tree. And over here, maybe either give timely intervention or maybe give Unshakable if I want to try about some resistance build. But the healing ones over here, Lay on Hands, Healing Savior, and Merciful Aid can be really useful. But yeah, this is gonna be the video for today, guys. I mean, I know it's kind of the same thing that I'm showing. I know some people are like, oh yeah, but the gear is pretty hard to achieve. It's like, oh yeah, you have the previous video had the free-to-play one, but people were like, okay, but the gear is not free-to-play. The gear, it doesn't matter if you're free-to-play or not. The gear that I have is obviously supposed to be decent enough and good enough gear to tackle stage 15. I'm talking about stage 15 of an endgame, you know, endgame dungeon. It's the same as if I would be tackling Nightmare Hydra with, like, you know, pretty easy to achieve champions, but people will say like, oh, you don't have the gear. Well, yeah, the gear is grinded in time. I don't have the best gear in game, trust me. There's lots better, so, you know, hopefully this still helps you. Hopefully this gives you some ideas, and hopefully you can achieve some of these stats. One other thing that obviously can help you, because people say stats, is having this, the Great Hall. If you have a Great Hall, like, you know, mine's almost maxed, having the accuracy, the resist, the HPs, it definitely helps towards your survivability. So, you know, try to never ignore Arena. That's like a random tip that I'm throwing in here. Try not to ignore Arena and do as much as you can to get these bonus stats. This requires a grind. Yes, but you know, you're gonna do it eventually. It's like I've almost played this game for like two years and a bit, and I haven't finished mine. So, you know, it's patience, guys, but you'll slowly achieve it. I'm gonna try and see if I can think of other teams and maybe do some other testings, but I'm really low on silver, so unless I get access to a test server where it's easier to, you know, to do lots of testing, it's kind of hard because every time I test something and I swap some gear, guess what? Costs me silver, and there's only so much I can keep wasting for, you know, for masteries, for regearing, and for all the other craziness. But, you know, I'm doing my best. Hopefully I'm gonna get to become tier 3 content creator. That will require me to have 8,000 subscribers on this channel. So if you haven't subbed yet, please consider doing so and liking the video. And I guess I'm gonna see you in the next one, guys. Peace, love, take care everyone. Bye.